We install cameras to feel safe, but sometimes they capture moments that are far from comforting.
Let me in. Huh?
Strange figures, creepy visitors, and unexplainable encounters. These clips will make you double-check your locks, so let's have a look. It started as just a shadow approaching the front door, but the closer it got, the more terrifying it became. This figure had unnaturally long fingers and a face that was, well, missing. No nose, no mouth, just smooth, blank skin. The Ring camera captured it all. Its movements were slow and unsettling, like a mix between a witch and something completely unknown. What it wanted, no one knows. Why it was there, that's still a mystery. But one thing's certain, anyone who saw that footage wouldn't forget it anytime soon. Midnight Visitor. A family was enjoying a movie night when they heard strange noises right outside their door. Curious but cautious, one of them checked the Ring camera, and what they saw was unsettling. An old lady stood there acting strange, holding something that made them freeze. Her behavior was off, like she wasn't fully aware of where she was. Thankfully, they stayed inside and called the police, because we all know that some visitors aren't just dropping by. At the door. After seeing this, you'd probably think twice before stepping out at night. A creepy clown was spotted lurking around a neighborhood, and the eerie moment was caught on a Ring video doorbell. The way it stood there, just staring, gave off major horror movie vibes. No one knew what it wanted or why it was there, but one thing's for sure, it was enough to give anyone chills. Unseen intruder. A man woke up to check his security footage and got the surprise of his life. While he was sound asleep, a strange woman wandered onto his property. He had never seen her before, and she didn't belong in the neighborhood. Surprisingly, she didn't try to break in. She just stood there, watching. He had no idea what her intentions were, but the thought of her lurking outside while he slept sent chills down his spine. Always stay aware. Danger doesn't always announce itself. Hands that knocked. Late one night, a man was working when he heard a faint tapping at the door. He curiously got up to check and froze. Two hands were knocking, but there was no body attached, just hands. He quickly flipped on the lights, but in an instant, they vanished. That's when the chill hit him. He hadn't been alone. Something or someone had been there the whole time, silently watching. Safe to say, he never looked at his front door the same way again. Lady Intruder.
Let me in. Huh?
One night, a man heard strange sounds and decided to check his window. What he saw left him uneasy. A strange-looking woman stood outside, staring right at him. Something about her face seemed off, like she didn't quite belong. She didn't say anything, but gave the feeling that she wanted to be let inside. The odd part was that no one ever figured out who she was, or why she was there. Her story remained a mystery, leaving behind a chilling thought about what really stood outside that night.
What's wrong with you?
Mysterious visitor. Late one night, a man stayed inside his house, keeping his distance from the creepy woods nearby. Locals always whispered about strange things lurking there, but that night, he learned the hard way. A weird noise outside his window made him look, and what he saw was chilling. A massive, shadowy figure just standing there, staring. But here's the twist. It didn't look angry. It looked sad, like it needed help. Still, the man didn't dare move. He stayed frozen until the creature slipped back into the darkness. Clown in shadows. In this eerie clip, someone dressed as a clown stood at a distance, silently watching the front door. After a few tense moments, the clown slowly walked up, stared straight into the doorbell camera, and then walked away without a word. Was it a prank or something more sinister? No one really knows. but one thing's for sure, most people wouldn't dare open their doors to a creepy clown in the dead of night. Creepiest encounter. This might be one of the creepiest doorbell moments that will for sure haunt your dreams. A guy wearing a strange bag mask walked up to a house, acting off. He left a bag at the door, rang the bell, and hid nearby. When the owner stepped out, he picked up the bag, checked it, and took it inside. That's when things got eerie. Strange, shrieking sounds echoed from the house. Moments later, the masked man reappeared, walked in, and left with the same bag. What really happened? No one knows. But whatever it was, it's nightmare fuel. Balcony intruder.
She was filming a TikTok video when the unthinkable happened.
A famous TikToker was having a normal night, recording a TikTok in her living room, when things took a surprising turn. Out of nowhere, a man barged in through her second-floor balcony door. Frozen in shock, she managed to ask, "Who are you? Please get out." Her fear grew when she noticed his hands buried deep in his pockets, like he might be hiding something. Thinking fast, she backed away, snapped a photo, and ran to a neighbor's door for help. Later, she realized she had seen him lurking around before. I mean, this could have ended much worse.
Initially, when I saw his hands in his pockets and I was standing there fearful, I thought maybe he was going to come at me with a weapon.
Midnight horror. It was just after midnight when a homeowner heard strange noises outside. Curious but uneasy, they checked the CCTV, and what he saw was downright creepy. A shadowy figure, looking like an old witch, stood in the yard, holding a broom and moving in strange patterns, almost like she was casting a spell. The whole scene felt like something straight out of a nightmare. Was it some twisted prank, or had something truly dark stepped onto their property that night? Either way, it's enough to keep anyone up at night. Creepy man. Late one night, a creepy man showed up at someone's front door. He walked up to the porch like it was nothing, but things took a weird turn. Moments later, he popped back up on the doorbell camera, staring straight into it. It wasn't just a glance. He locked eyes with that camera, fully aware that someone was watching. That cold, empty stare was enough to make anyone's skin crawl. Luckily, the door stayed shut. It's always safer to check who's outside before opening the door, because you never know who might be waiting. LA encounter. Back in 2010, at a motel in Los Angeles, a strange and chilling event was caught on camera. A man heard odd noises from the next room and decided to check it out. What he found was beyond belief. A creepy creature was in the middle of a strange transformation. Her skin turned pale, her bones looked sharp beneath her skin, and her body moved in strange, painful ways. She screamed as her body twisted. Then suddenly, she lifted off the ground and vanished into thin air. Netizens say it could have been a rare illness or chemical reaction causing her body to break down. Others think she disappeared to escape the pain. Whatever happened, it left behind more questions than answers. Guy intruder. Some stories sound too crazy to be true, like a house haunted by zombies. One guy thought it was all just a myth, so he decided to check it out for himself. While exploring one of the rooms, he heard footsteps. Acting fast, he hid. That's when things got creepy. A zombie-like figure walked in, alert, like it was guarding its territory. But luck ran out. The creature spotted him, and the video cut off. No one knows what happened next, but the footage is real, and proof that something terrifying was in that house. 4 a.m. horror. At 4:30 in the morning, the Ring camera caught something unsettling. A girl running toward the front door, looking scared. It seemed like someone in a car had been chasing her. But strangely, she only reacted to other passing cars. Not that one. Desperate for help, she reached the house, but no one was home. With no other choice, she quickly hid and then ran off into the darkness. Who was after her? Where did she go? No one knows. CCTV surprise. In Mexico, a man got an unexpected shock when he finally checked his garage's CCTV footage after 10 days. Each night, an eerie, rake-like creature had been slipping into his garage. Its movements were slow and unsettling, like it had a secret reason for being there. No one knew where it came from or what it wanted. Spooked by the discovery, the man quickly installed double locks on the garage door. Strangely, the creature never returned. The incident left him uneasy, wondering why his home had been chosen for such a chilling visit. Shadowy peeker. One evening, while cooking dinner, a woman felt an eerie sensation, like unseen eyes were on her. Curious and cautious, she glanced around the room. That's when she noticed it, a small figure peeking from behind the wall. But as she stepped closer, it disappeared, gone, as if it had never been there at all. The unsettling sight lingered in her mind, casting a shadow over the evening. She couldn't shake the feeling that something had been there, watching. Behind bars. A man heard strange noises coming from behind a locked door. Curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to check it out. What he found was far from normal. Behind the bars, there was a pale, human-like figure standing. It crept towards the door, its hollow eyes locked on the man. It moved slowly and steadily, but when it reached the door, it thrust a bony arm through the bars, trying to grab him. But thankfully, the man acted fast and jumped back. Silent stalker.
Daniel?
This has to be one of the creepiest times an intruder was caught on camera. A mom and her kid walked into their building thinking they were safe, but they had no idea someone was right behind them. As the kid shut the door, a man showed up, trying to get in. When the door didn't budge, he just stood there, still, silent, hands behind his back, and staring. No blinking, no moving, just waiting. And the whole thing was caught on camera.
Who is that? Get out of here!
Home alone.
I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions.
A woman was home alone when things took a terrifying turn. Her Ring doorbell captured a strange man standing on the porch, staring through the glass and asking unsettling questions. His tone was calm, but his words were threatening enough to scare anyone. The woman stayed hidden, silently calling 911 and alerting her husband. Her husband, joining through the doorbell speaker, confronted the man. Thankfully, the woman stayed safe. But this encounter is a reminder that always trust your instincts and keep those doors locked.
Are you sure?
Perched figure. A man was looking out at his backyard when he saw something sitting high up in a tree. At first, he thought it was just a cat, but when he looked closer, it seemed bigger and had a strange, human-like shape. It wasn't just sitting there. It looked like it was watching him. Neighbors had also shared stories. They said a creepy figure haunted the area at night, hiding in the trees. So guys, next time you're outside, take a look up. You never know what could be watching you. Mysterious garage invaders. Security footage revealed a strange and unsettling sight. Two small, shadowy figures, barely a foot tall, crept through a dimly lit parking lot. Their movements were slow and eerie, almost as if they were gliding across the ground with a purpose no one could understand. The quiet shuffle of their tiny forms gave off an unnerving feeling, like they were visitors from a hidden world. Whatever they were, their presence left a chill that lingered long after they disappeared from view. Backyard creature. A small, gray figure in a black suit showed up in someone's backyard. But instead of running, the homeowner calmly walked up to it and stopped. The figure then reached out and placed its hand on the man's forehead. After a few seconds, the man simply turned around and walked away, like nothing unusual happened. It's unclear what really went on in that moment, but it definitely left people wondering what kind of encounter that was. Seconds from danger. Late one night in Charlotte, a woman had just gotten home with her kids. Moments after her sister walked inside, two men suddenly rushed the front door, one holding a gun. Luckily, the quick click of a locked door kept them out. The intruders cursed and ran off, but the danger felt all too real. It was a close call, reminding us how 1 second can mean the difference between safety and disaster. Always lock up, stay alert, and trust your instincts. You never know who's watching. Oklahoma's late night creep. If you live in Oklahoma, here's a reason to stay alert and think twice before stepping outside. A Ring doorbell camera captured something downright unsettling, a strange figure lurking at the door. The man didn't seem in his right mind and was desperately trying to unlock it. It's the kind of late-night visitor no one wants. So, double-check those locks and maybe peek through the blinds first, because you never know who or what might be standing there. Silent intruder. While walking, an explorer spotted something truly unsettling near an old cottage. It wasn't just any intruder. It looked like a walking skeleton. Its movements jerky and unnatural, like it was still figuring out how to move. Trying to see if it was real, the explorer tossed a small stick nearby. The creature froze, slowly turned its hollow gaze, and without warning, leaped onto the roof and vanished behind the cottage. The explorer rushed to catch another glimpse, but the intruder had already disappeared into the dark. Creepy canine. Bringing home a new dog should be exciting, right? But for one woman, it turned into a nightmare. She adopted a dog she absolutely adored, until she checked her Ring camera footage. That's when things got weird. The footage showed the dog with glowing eyes, freakishly long teeth, and oddly shaped feet. It looked more like a creature from a horror movie than a pet. Unsure if it had always been this way or turned into something else, she was heartbroken but decided to return it, because sometimes man's best friend isn't so friendly after all. Ghostly intruder. In Romania, a homeowner's ordinary night took a dark turn. Their CCTV camera captured a strange old man leaving the house, but as he approached the door, his figure seemed to shift, almost transforming into a ghostly shape before vanishing. Who was he? A shapeshifter? Or something worse? The owner had no answers, only fear. They quietly asked the man to leave the next day, and vowed never to take in another guest. Some intruders leave more than fear. They leave behind mysteries no one wants to solve. Vanishing trespasser. Late at night, a CCTV camera caught something that still has people scratching their heads. A man was seen walking casually down the street. Nothing unusual, until he suddenly vanished without a trace. No shadow, no footsteps, just gone. The strange footage spread fast, sparking wild guesses about time travel, glitches in reality, or something supernatural. But no one has figured it out. Locals now avoid that street after dark, spooked by the mystery. Was it just a camera glitch? Or did something unexplainable really happen that night? Hard to believe. Just when you thought dinosaurs were history, this footage says otherwise. In a quiet Vietnam town, locals were shaken awake by strange, nighttime sounds. Curious, one homeowner checked their CCTV, and what they saw was chilling. A creature that looked just like a Theropod dinosaur sprinted down the road. Was it a glitch in time, or something straight out of a secret lab? Nobody knows. But that eerie sight left everyone wondering, could dinosaurs still be lurking somewhere out there? Not so quiet. It started as an ordinary night near a quiet bus stop. Two friends, down on their luck, were asleep on a bench, unaware of the nightmare about to unfold. Out of the shadows, a woman in white appeared, moving in eerie, unnatural ways, almost like she was possessed. 1 second she was there, the next, gone. Then, suddenly, she grabbed one friend and vanished. When the other friend woke up, his companion was missing. Hours later, they found him deep in the woods, confused and shaken. What really happened that night, no one knows. Ghostly orb. This encounter began with a simple motion alert, just another late-night notification. The homeowners curiously checked outside, but saw nothing. But that's when the real mystery began. Rewinding the footage, they spotted something strange. A glowing orb slowly drifting by the camera before disappearing into the stone wall. It wasn't just a trick of the light. It was dense enough to trigger the motion sensor. Netizens brushed it off as a bug, but others weren't so sure. Just like them, I believe it was something more. Maybe a spirit, quietly watching over the home. Either way, it left behind an eerie chill. Floating package. Back in 2016, a security camera caught something really odd. A person dropped off a package on a porch, jumped into a car, and drove away. The package sitting in the corner started to move and looked like it was getting bigger. Then, it floated up and out of the camera's view. Some people thought it was just a prank. Others believed it was something spooky, like a ghost. A few said it was just a bug crawling on the camera. Whatever it was, it's one of those weird moments that make you wonder. Red spook. This spooky footage came from a store in Asia. The owners, after checking their CCTV, noticed something they couldn't explain. A woman appeared out of nowhere right in front of the store, then seemed to teleport around. No cuts, no glitches. Just her moving in ways that didn't make sense. And then it got weirder. A red figure showed up behind her. But was it a car or something else? The owners couldn't decide. The woman stood there staring while the red shape flickered behind her. Creepy, right? What do you think really happened? Real-life Dobby. In a quiet neighborhood of southeastern Colorado, a woman checked her security footage after hearing strange noises outside. What she saw left her speechless. A small, hunched creature with long limbs and an odd gait crept across her driveway. It wasn't human, that was certain. The creature's shadowy figure sparked instant fear and curiosity. When she shared the clip online, it went viral, with millions speculating what it could be. Some called it a prank, while others whispered about secret experiments. Either way, the truth remains a chilling mystery. Silent crawler. Late one evening, a homeowner received an alert from their doorbell camera. Curious, they checked the footage and were stunned to see a massive snake winding its way up the side of the house. Nearby, birds darted frantically, likely defending a hidden nest. Gripped with fear, the homeowner grabbed a shovel and rake and hurried home. But by the time they arrived, the snake had vanished without a trace. No sign, no trail, just an unsettling question lingering in the air. Where had it gone? Creepy voices. A family heard strange, distorted voices outside. They checked their Ring camera and noticed the sounds were odd, almost like something was trying to copy human speech, but couldn't get it right. No one was visible on the footage, but the creepy voices continued. They believe it could have been a skinwalker hiding nearby. The creature stayed hidden, but the unsettling sounds freaked them out. The homeowner felt uneasy, unsure of what had been lurking outside. Creepy clown. While the family was away, their neighbors spotted something strange and gave them a heads up. Curious and a little concerned, they checked their CCTV footage and what they saw was beyond creepy. A clown stood outside, holding something that looked sharp, though it wasn't clear what it planned to do. Luckily, the family wasn't home, but the thought of what could have happened if that clown had gotten inside was enough to leave them shaken. It was a close call, and the unsettling feeling still lingered long after the footage ended. Midnight knock. Late one night in Las Vegas, Nevada, a stranger showed up and started knocking on a door. He looked rough and out of place, making the whole scene feel off. The weirdest thing is, no one knew who he was or why he was there. The unexpected visit left the house owner scared, so guys always make sure to double-check the locks and stay on high alert because you never know who might show up when the world is fast asleep. Abandoned apartment. A man moved into an apartment that had been abandoned after the previous tenant fled due to strange and unsettling events, but it seemed the creepy vibe hadn't left with them. One night, as he recorded, something unsettling caught his eye. A shadowy figure watching him from a nearby empty building. Was it just a trick of the light, or was something still haunting the area? Maybe whatever scared off the last tenant was still lurking, keeping a close eye on its new neighbor. Creepy, right? Weird doorbell encounter. Now this one's more weird than scary. Back in January 2019, in Salinas, California, a homeowner checked their security footage and was stunned by what he saw. A stranger spent 3 whole hours licking his doorbell, just standing there licking it like it was totally normal. Thankfully, this happened before the global pandemic, or it would have been a whole lot creepier. Still, it's one of those bizarre moments that leaves all of us wondering what was going through that guy's mind. Masked figure. A doorbell camera captured something truly unsettling. A mysterious woman wearing a creepy mask lurking outside. Not much is known about the footage, and the lack of details has left people guessing. Some think it might have been a prank, while others aren't so sure. But prank or not, there's no denying how disturbing the video feels. It's the kind of clip that sticks with you, making you wonder what exactly was going on that night. Staring soul. In Mexico, a security guard on a night shift caught something super creepy on camera. He saw this weird, woman-like figure with long, stretched-out limbs just staring straight into the lens. It was so freaky, even the guard got scared. But here's the weirdest part. Once the figure realized it was being watched, it took off running. No one knows who or what it was, but that moment was enough to leave the guard, and probably anyone watching totally freaked out. Scary tapping. One night, a guy heard strange whispers coming from his bathroom. Curious and a little nervous, he went to check it out. That's when things got creepy. He heard a soft tapping on the shower door and even caught a small hand hitting the glass on camera. But when he opened the door, there was nothing. Just an empty shower, like nothing had happened. The next day, he decided it was better to pack up and leave. Staying in a house with mystery hands tapping on the shower? Yeah, not worth the risk. Doorbell creature. A girl checked her doorbell camera and saw something they wished she hadn't. A faint, see-through figure moved across the yard. It had no face and seemed to fade in and out, almost like a ghost taking a slow walk. Soft footsteps could be heard, making it even creepier. But when they checked outside, nothing was there. No tracks, no sign of anyone. Was it a glitch, a ghost, or something else? You decide. Masked alert. Late one night, a homeowner received a strange doorbell alert. Curious but cautious, they checked the footage and were stunned. A figure stood motionless at the door, wearing an old, cracked porcelain mask. The figure didn't speak or move, just stared into the camera like they were waiting for something. Moments later, they placed the box on the doorstep and walked away without a word. The homeowner never opened the box, too creeped out by the eerie encounter. Some deliveries are better left untouched. And now, let us move on towards our subscriber's pick of the day. This picture was sent to us by one of you, and after digging a little deeper, I even found a video of it. Check out this creepy-looking old lady standing at someone's front door. But guys, there's something more strange about her. Her features seem off, with dark eyes and skin that looked too pale. The creepiest part was when she walked right up to the doorbell camera, almost as if she was whispering something. Luckily, the woman inside didn't open the door. She stayed quiet and watched as the figure stood there for a moment before walking away. And now we know that this was more than just a random visitor. So next time you hear a knock, it's worth checking who's there first.